In yesterday's episode, I was having a terrible time holding the CA glue applicator steady when I was trying to do it like this. Now, what the problem was is that I was trying to hold it like you see me doing it right now. You couldn't see that because you were in too close. And I should have had this hand on some sort of a rest. Now, if you remember, when we were doing the Bismarck, I made this up. And this doesn't really work too well on the hood now that we've got this deck on. In fact, if I put this down, it's pretty much touching the top here. It's not going to break anything off because everything that's on there right now is lower than these splinter guards. So I don't know. I can do one of two things. I can either put something on the bottom of these little legs here and raise this whole thing up a bit, or I can put something like a piece of cloth or something on the bottom so that when it rests on the splinter guards, it's not going to hurt anything. I think the best way to go is to raise these legs up about ½ an inch, because undoubtedly there's going to be stuff we're going to be wanting to stick on the deck later anyway. Now then, I should be able to hold my hand a lot more steady. At least that's the hope for the other side. Now, I think at the end of yesterday's episode I said, we'll see you on the other side. Well, I guess we got to turn the ship around to do that. Okay, here we go. Had a piece of scrap about 24 inches long, cut it the right length. I'd used it for something else years ago, but didn't throw it out. It came in handy. Took my 18 gauge brad nailer and a dozen little pops, and we're all nailed on. I know I could have glued it and made it extra strong, but hey, doesn't have to be. Yeah. Oh, and on this side here, this one here, it blew out the side. Well, I deliberately did that. I mean, I wanted to see if I still remembered how to blow out the side. And, obviously I can. Anybody can do it the right way. Okay, let's try this out now. I don't see why that's not going to work. Okay, what we'll do is the same as yesterday. We'll put the camera on the other side, and you'll be looking this way, and I'll be looking this way, and I think it's going to go a lot faster. Okay, we're going to do this one over here. And if you remember, it has to go down at an angle like this, so it matches the other one. And we'll spread it a little bit here. Doesn't take very much to spread them, just the force of the tweezers separating. Okay, I think it's time to put the macro lens on. Now, I think that first step that I'm just touching right now is actually supposed to be down just a little. No, that's too much. There, that's just about right. If I could just pull it back here just a little, I believe that would be more or less perfect. Okay, now I am resting my hand. Let's see if I can do a better job now. I'm resting my hand on the on the table that we just made up. Yeah, that went pretty good. We'll try the other one. Okay, now this one goes in the other way. Put in our safety pin. Now, I want to be able to force the bottom of the stairs. Okay, I think we pretty much got it here. Doesn't, got to twist it a little bit straighter though. Wondering why it won't come my way. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's see if I can touch the applicator right there on the top step without touching the pin. Okay, I think I'll wait to remove the pin until after that cures. Okay, a fair bit of time has gone by now, and I think it's safe to take this out. But I want you to take a look at the steps going down. They actually look like little steps going down, right? Now we're going to swing the ship around, and we're going to look at the first one we did. And you're going to notice there's something wrong. Now I never actually noticed this myself until after I was editing everything out, and then I thought, this doesn't look right. Then I realized what was wrong. If I had have upended it the other way, well then the steps would have been right, but then the railing would have been wrong. You know, and all the ones I did on the Bismarck, I got them right, and the other three I got right. Let's see if I can not do this again. All right, I know that we could break this out of there. I could bend the steps the other way, but if I take a chance to do that, because of metal fatigue, I could possibly break the steps off, because I'd have to rotate them around about 180 degrees, and also it's going to make a bit of a mess here. I don't know if you noticed, but when this was glued on, the railing glued to the side there, you know, where it goes down, it's adhered itself pretty good. Well, actually, I guess it's on this side that it's adhered to, but I just make a big mess of it. So, as the viewer pointed out later on in his comment further down that you didn't read, you need a microscope to see this anyway, and nobody's going to notice. So, I think I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to be careful to do all the rest of them the right way. Okay, we've got the rings in. And we've got the ladders in place. The only thing that I could possibly do right now that I would feel maybe a little bit safe about would be putting these hatch davits in place. But these ones here that hang over the sides and stick out, and also this piece right here, would be, I don't know, it seems to me it's the sort of thing I can put on later. It's not like they have to be put on right now in order to put something else on them. Now the hatch davits, the reason I don't want to put them on right now is because they'd be too easily bent over if I was to brush against them. I mean, they're so fragile, they're just nothing but photo etch. Yeah, and even just brushing on them with even just a little brush, it would, they'll bend over. Now, what I'm wondering is, though, if I don't put them on now, is there anything that's going to be put in place later that's going to be blocking them? Now, we should be able to spot on the deck where they're supposed to go. Maybe I should, you know what, I'm doing a lot of talking here. Maybe what I should do is just sort of peruse ahead a little bit in the manual and see what has to go on here that might be, blocking it so that you can't get these on later. Once again, doing a lot of thinking out loud here. Okay, we already have done step 12 here. And 13 is just a whole bunch more of little tiny things that could easily be broken off, but I think they're probably a little bit more scruggle. All these little things go on. More small stuff. Now this is on the bow section. More small stuff. Oh my goodness. Anchor chains on step 26. More ladders here. Let's try and get them right this time. More small stuff. More davits. I'm probably going to have to make up some sort of special guards like we did for the Bismarck. Remember we had the coat hanger thing? Okay, now here we go. These we'll be making up large pieces and dropping them down, not until we get to step 35. And I would imagine that would be when we could possibly have problems getting these little parts that I don't want to put on right now because they'll bend on me. But I can't really see anywhere here. More ladders. Let's see if I can spot the hatch davits in these. They weren't drawn in for some reason. Or am I not looking in the right place? They should be along here, I would think. Yeah, they didn't draw the hatch davits in. I wonder why. So later on, when I was sitting in front of the computer here, I was getting curious, and I thought, well, how come I couldn't see them in the manual? And so I brought up some of the pages, and here's page 35. And if you look, you can see they did draw them in. At least they drew 4 out of 5 in. The blue circle, there's no davit. There's actually supposed to be one there. Anyway. I would think we can wait on them. Okay, well, we finished step 12, and we're not going to completely finish 11, so we're on step 13. Okay, everything is on the F sprue, and we have to make 6 of this one and 5 of this one. Now, the only ones that share the same part is the F50. So we need a total of 11 F50s. And the rest, we want to make sure we don't get them mixed up. Now, this one and this one, they just appear to be mirror image of each other, so I would assume that the F30 and the 29 are mirror image to each other. But I'll get out some tuna fish tins and we'll keep them separate. But there's something that I was noticing here. Okay, it says make 6, and then and I'm presuming Chinese, it says make 6. But why would they have to have a 6? I was going to say a Canadian 6. Yeah, the whole world revolves around Winnipeg, right? Okay, yeah, why would they have a 6 mixed in with the Chinese lettering? Was there no symbol for 6? Does anybody know for sure? Does anybody speak Chinese or can read this? My daughter-in-law might be able to read that. Anyway. Okay, F50, we need a total of 11, and there's 4 on each sprue. So I guess that means there's 12 altogether. We might need the 12th one later on. Okay, 50, here we go. Now the end closest to you, that's obviously the end that's going to be plugging into the deck. And, I'm just wondering if I should be using my Tamiya nippers for this. They're just a little bit more precise. I will be carefully nipping off the flashing off the top of those pieces and sanding them down. Start at this end this time. Okay, now I think the 12th one, we'll just leave it on the sprue here. We might be needing it later. Probably not, but we'll leave it on the sprue where we'll be able to find it. 9, 10, and 11. Now I've spent a few minutes trying to figure out how could I keep these together so that the 29 was attached to this one and this one. Like nip it here and nip it here and nip it here. But I was afraid that possibly I might end up breaking this off at the wrong place. I do believe when we do cut these off, we're going to be cutting them right there, like where the nipper is touching. So I think the best way to go here is this is 29, this is 30. Okay, this is 29, and this is 30. So if I was to do it like this, I'm going to use my Tamiya nippers because they're just a little easier to get in there, okay? I'll put it there. Put it here. Put it here. And then I have to be careful not to sneeze and get them all mixed up again. Okay. I'm going really slow so these don't go pinging off on me. And, oh, I did. Well, let's see, which one was it? Oh my goodness. Well, are they that different that I'm not going to be able to tell them apart? Oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Okay, I'll put the macro lens on. We'll get them sorted out. Okay, it could be I sort of panicked for nothing there. We got our last sprue here and they're all connected. Obviously, these are 29 and these are 30. So I don't think they're too badly mixed up. If you look at them closely, I can see that they are a little bit different. They are a mirror image to each other, but I do believe I got them separated properly now. In other words, these are all number 30. I'm just going to get another pair of tweezers here and turn them over. Okay, I've got them sorted out here. I'm 100% convinced I don't have them mixed up. We need 5 of this, so we need 1 more 29. And we need 6 of the 30s, so we need both of these. Well, there's about half an inch or so of coffee left in there. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.